Isn't it always the best to be a critic to someone else? We can point out the flaws, we can point out the areas that they need to improve. We can also point out the good things too and see their successes. And that's great, but it does us no good, right? Because it doesn't help us grow as people. So we want to be able to go forth in personal growth and also in our growth in our faith. And so today we're going to talk about self reflection.
Welcome to Collective Gifts. I'm Noella and this is Rachel.
Hiya, Collective Gifts. This is our final episode to our Reflect and Remember series. And we're going to go forth in talking about tips to go forth in self reflection. And self reflection is something that every person should go forth in doing because we want to grow, right? We want to better ourselves. And so we want to share with you a scripture.
It's from Proverbs 27:19, and it says, "As face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the real person."
Yes. And so we are created in the image of God. We're created to be like Him. And so when we go forth in being like Him, we want to represent Him well, right? Because we want to represent His love to other people. So if we're looking at our face in the water or in the mirror, we want to see Jesus. But more importantly, when we go forth in doing things in our actions and in our deeds, right, we want to represent Him by being love because God is love. And so, in doing so, there's going to be times where God chastens whom He loves because He wants us to be delivered from things. He wants us to be healed and whole. He wants us to be set free so that we can truly go forth and share His love to the world. And so, as we go forth in this self reflection process, we want to start off with first being open and honest with ourselves. Because if we let pride and stubbornness in the way, then we're going to be resistant to change. We're going to be resistant to seeing the truth, which may sometimes hurt. And so we want to be open and honest with ourselves so that we then can go forth and make those changes, go forth in that healing or in that growth. And as we go forth with being open and honest, and that's remaining humble, right? Because then we can ask God for His help, to show us some things, to give us insight and understanding. And we can also then go forth with evaluating our year. We can evaluate those trials and those triumphs. We can evaluate our responses. Was it always in the flesh? Were we responding in anger or frustrations, right? Or were we responding in fear? Or going forth in procrastination or denial or whatever it is? Were we wrestling with something, being in bondage to something that we need to be set free from? Maybe it's a bad behavior, right? That's not good for us because everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And so we want to look at that. What were our triumphs? How did we respond? Sometimes we can look back and see, the old me would have responded in this way in the flesh, and it would have caused more strife, more division, or just more drama or chaos, right? It would have been problematic. But you responded in a different way, which then brought forth the best possible outcome. And it actually showed you that, okay, you've been delivered and set free from something. Or maybe you grew in a way where, you were so into fear and anxiety and worry that you didn't respond that way. You went forth in faith and you saw that you kept your peace and your joy. And so those things are important because then we'll be able to see, okay, how much growth did we go forth this year? And see then where we're at. Is there something that's still a problem that we need to cut off and let go? And God can then show us the root so that we'll know how to work it out of our lives.
And so the third tip is to, sometimes people hurt or offend you without even knowing, and, they go forth in their lives, and you're the one that's carrying all the hurt and offense. And it could also happen vice versa as well. You could hurt and offend others, and they never say anything. And so, you're both none the wiser as to, if someone hurt or offended you unless they told you. And so I have the scripture from Psalm 139, verses 23-24. It says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." And so you can ask God to reveal things to you if, you hurt or offended someone, to reveal that to you so you can go and make it right with that person. Or, if you hurt or offended someone and they didn't tell you, you can tell God, or ask God to reveal it to you so you can go forth and make it right with them. at that time, because with the holidays coming up, we want to go forth and just have a good time in celebrating with friends and family. And the only way to do that is if there is no strife and division, that we go forth in love and to celebrate the season, especially with the Christmas season coming up, to celebrate together and just have a good and a great time together, because how pleasant it is when the brethren dwell together in unity.
Yes, we want to enjoy living life together. And so that's a great segue, because our 5-day October fast begins on Monday, October 3rd through October 7th, which is Friday. And we're just asking you to give up one food item or one activity, and every day during that 5 days we'll be posting a teaching on a different heart attitude or heart condition, which a lot of us have gone through, and we want to be sure that we do have a clean heart, a healed heart, be made right, so that we can truly be free to enjoy the holidays. And not only that, but to continue on in our faith journey, because we want to grow, right? And we want more, we want to be better and do better. And so we hope that you will join us during that 5-day fast. And we hope this video also encourage you to go forth and take the time to go forth in self-reflection and really ask yourself these questions. And you can journal it down too, and just continue to process it even as we go forth in the 5-day fast teachings as well, because this is only going to help us to be better, right? And to learn how to grow and to be all that God created us to be. So we thank you for joining us today. God bless you. And until next time, Shalom.